Hello, hello, all you beautiful people joining from a replay. Just 1 second, I'm just setting things up. As this again is a random live. I didn't plan to come on live today. I was on Jay's live earlier actually, and she just went off. So I thought I might as well jump on and see what's going on with you guys today. How are you guys doing? Join me in the chat today. I thought, why don't we do a little chat about your channels, and let's see if anyone comes on and wants to connect with each other, or if not, I'll just do my art and stuff here on the side. Let me put the backlight on because it is switched off at the moment. There we go. Now I can see you better. I think I'm gonna start with braiding my hair actually, as strange as that sounds. I have a few lives and videos about how to braid your hair. And in one of the videos, someone asked me how I finished the side braid, the fringe braid, because it doesn't show that clearly on the video. So I'm just gonna do that now quickly. Just takes a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, let's see if any of you guys come on here today. I do these lives all the time, so I don't really plan that much about it. I just go with the flow. If people come on, we chat. If not, I'll paint. But yeah, just make a side fringe braid. Make a section like this, tie the rest up, put this into 3 from the beginning like that. So I'll send this link to whoever it was who asked about the side fringe. So pulling it out in 3 sections like this, going under the middle like that, and again under the middle. There, and then I'm pulling a little bit more from there. So my plan was to stay on Jay's live during football, but then she went off. so I just popped this one on instead then, as I was gonna sit here and do painting anyways. But I'm starting with a fringe braid to get the hair out of my face. Let's see if it doesn't get too bumpy. So you pull it quite tight. You go under the middle, and on this side you don't add anything. And on this side, you add a little section of hair each time. You can see 3 people are on. No one is saying anything. So there are lurkers. But that's okay. You don't have to chat if you don't want to. Oh, I don't know why I feel so hot today. Because it's not that hot in London. Guys, not a very nice bump over there. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. So I got quite a few things going on here on my table. Some of the things we did in the live yesterday. some things we did in my art classes online today that we will continue now. Looks like I'm blushing, isn't it? I think it was the coffee. We just had coffee before I came on. Might so be. So yeah, under the middle, pull it tight to straighten this side. You pull it on that side. Under the middle again, and on this side, on the inner side, you add a section of hair. And as you come closer to the ear, I move the braid backwards. I'm using the camera as a mirror to see if it gets more or less in the right direction. Yeah, that should be fine. There you go. So once I reach the ear and used up all the hair from the section, I just continue. So this was the question: what do I do when I come? How do I finish the braid, the side braid? And I thought that was so obvious that I didn't even show it in that video. So I cut that part out just to not make the video too long. But yeah, when I come to the end of this section, I just continue it straight down to the end of this braid. And all the way till the end. I have not told a soul about this live. Usually I post about it to people to come and connect, but now I just jumped on. So let's see. So there you go. I made it all the way till the end in a simple braid. Whoever it is that's watching, I dare you to say hello. Sometimes I even think they might be like people from your past that are too embarrassed to say that they're watching. Did that ever happen to you? I'm not really bothered, to be honest. Okay, here we go. Till the end, like that. And then you add it to the braid from the side. This is sticking out like Pippi Longstocking. Why is it so hot in here? There, I got the hair out of my face at least. It was bothering me earlier. Now, let's see what's going on this table over here. I've got a few things going on, actually. It's always busy on this craft table of mine. This was the painting that I did with Johnny Young. I'm gonna put it here in the background. This was the painting that I did yesterday in the live, and then I added a few bits after the live as well, because I was on for quite a while and I just thought I'll add a little. So I added the clouds and some shadings to this one. So that one is finished now. I'm gonna post it on my new Instagram tomorrow. Started a new Instagram account with 0 followers. That will be interesting to see how that will go. Let's put those away. So we started painting roses in a class that I did earlier today. And since no one seemed to be chatting at the moment, I'll just continue with this. And if anyone comes in, just say hello in the chat box. If not, I'll carry on with these paintings of mine. taking out some of these paints that I used. I have these acrylic ones here. But as this is a painting in my sketchbook, I think I'm gonna use thinner paint because this paper is not super thick. If you just joined the live, do say hello in the chat box. I'm gonna switch that one off for a second because it doesn't last that long. Okay, let's take these two out. So I'm gonna do a little bit of shadings and colors to this painting. If you're on here, say hello. Let us know about your channel in the chat box. Let me know if you're new to my channel or if you've been on here before. And we'll take it from there. So, yay, 4 people viewing and 3 likes already. Simone, do you know what, Simone? I didn't tell you that I'm gonna go live. I just popped this one on because Jay wasn't live anymore and now David is watching football. So I was kind of in my mind thinking I'll go and paint and rejoin Jay's live. Then when I opened it, she wasn't on anymore. So I was like, I'm just gonna put on the camera and just go with the flow. But I didn't want to tell you because I know you've been on a live for probably a couple of hours already. So I didn't want to bother you guys anymore with any more lives. But I'm so happy to see that you came here anyway. Simone is saying, I just saw it now as I'm finishing editing Ryan's video. What video are you editing now? For the sports channel or what is it? I just braided my hair. I don't know at what point you joined, but I started with braiding my hair to see if anyone is coming on. And I am happy to see you here, Simone. Don't feel any pressure on staying on here though, because I know you've been chatting and chatting on Jay's live for quite a while. So, aren't you proud of me though? I was quite well behaved today, wasn't I? Simone is saying, yes, the sports, all about getting up quickly to get back in the game. Getting up quickly. So now I'm thinking if you're, so do you mean in rugby if you fall over? I really don't know anything about rugby. I don't know much about football either. I'm not a sportsy kind of girl. I'm more into arts and stuff like that. So, oh, Kenyatta is doing a live as well. This is a busy day, isn't it? A lot of people are online today and doing their lives. Rugby when you get tackled. Okay, I see. I wouldn't know anything about that. Try to declutter this table a little bit, but there's so much going on here. I got a beautiful picture of this little guy over here as well. Weird man, wasn't he? This guy. Do you know who this is? Simone is saying, rugby when you get tackled, or even football, or even if you fell over and was under attack and you need to get up. Oh, that sounds interesting. I need to check that out. So that's gonna be on trying to remember the name of the sport channel is. Tell us the name of your sport channel so other people can find it as well. Sounds like a fun, not fun, but a useful video for different situations. So it's called Della Sports is the name of the channel, and it's all about sports. And okay, so he says it's all in the hips. Babies instinctively get up, feet to hand. So it's all in the hips. Tonight, Della Sports. Who is that on that photo? You don't know this guy? I'm gonna leave that lingering for a while. Let's see if anyone else comes on and can help you. This is a very, very famous man. He was even famous for that stripy jumper of his. Can you see? Can you see what he put instead of his hands? I think that's like croissants or something. It's a man that inspires me because of his weirdness. I keep him here in front of me on my desk sometimes. Makes me feel a bit more normal. So I was saying earlier that we started this in my art class earlier. The girl wanted to paint some roses that they had in their garden. That class was in Switzerland. That girl joined from Switzerland. And yeah, she wanted to learn how to paint roses. So we studied roses and pictures of roses. And this is as far as we got. So now I'm going to continue this one. Oh my God, I was going to ask, he was your dad? Oh yes, I saw his hands. I need to send you a picture of my dad afterwards, Simone, because he actually looks a little bit like my dad. My dad has just about as much hair as this guy, and the hair on the side of his head is the same color as my dad's. But when my dad was younger, he did have like dark brown hair. Just he's aging now, so naturally he looks a bit like that. I'll send you a photo afterwards. But yeah, what time is Kenyatta's live today? Simone, have you been online like more or less on your laptop more or less all day? Since you've been sending emails and now you've been editing a video, then you were on Jay's live, then you're going on Kenyatta's live, now you're on mine. Oh yeah, 10 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, I think actually now that you mention it, I think I saw the notification for that. But that's a bummer. Like Jay jumped off just before football started, and Kenyatta will come on just after football. It's like they're watching football right now, are they? Oh my God, until 12 p.m., then on and off, then constant from 6 p.m. Yes, Simone, how do you do it? How do you manage to, like, I could never have a job in an office, for example, because I can't ever stay that long on the laptop in front of a screen. Like, when I edit videos, for example, or when I do like admin work, I have to take it in parts, or like my eyes start hurting and I just get a little bit bored from just sitting still and not doing anything physically. Yeah, you must be so tired. Bless you. I'm knackered now, but want to edit my quick video. It sucked long in an. It sucked working in an office. So you worked in an office before. Tell us about that. Where did you work? Yeah, I never even done that, you know. I worked in many places, but I never worked in an office because I don't have patience to sit still and look at a screen. I like doing stuff, like painting, for example. Painting I can do for hours, then I do sit still, but tapping on a laptop, no, it's not for me. At some point, I will get an admin to do my invoices and that sort of work. Yes, I worked in a bank. I worked in banking before I had Caleb. I think now that you mentioned, I think you shared that in some of your videos quite a while back, a long time. I've seen most of your videos. I think you spoke about that before, what you did before you had kids and then when you decided to homeschool and everything. So now that you mention, do you ever miss working for, like going to work, going into an office and having a team to work with? To be honest, I would have never guessed that you would work in an office. Now knowing your character a little bit more. You just seem so kind of free. So I can't really see you sitting in in a bank office, suited up. Now you're just hanging out with the cows in your neighborhood. It wasn't so bad because I worked for different banks all over UK. So I was working in, say, one place 3 months, like Bristol, then Brighton for 3 months. Okay, that sounds quite fun. I guess that was before you had a family, so you were able to move around a little bit more. Okay, I guess in that case, it could be quite fun. I worked. Simone is saying, yes, I had a suit and trained people, but it wasn't my dream. Bless you, bless you. Trying to picture you in a suit now as well. Hey, did you decide about what you're gonna wear for your photo shoot? I know that's coming up on, was it Saturday or Sunday? That's gonna be fun. Are you gonna film anything of that? Are you allowed to do that? Hello, adventures. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. You guys already know each other, so there's not much connection going on there. You're already connected. In fact, I actually found you, Roxy, through Simone, so you guys connected me. So I saved up to go and learn to be a... What's that? Is that a spelling mistake, Simone? Roxy saying, I noticed you're live, so I figured jump on. Thank you, Roxy, for jumping on. Yeah, this wasn't planned. I actually, teacher. You learned to be a teacher in civil. Okay, that makes more sense. I couldn't figure it out because of the X, but yeah, now it's obvious. Yeah, Roxy, I didn't plan to go on live. This was just a random one to jump on, and my partner David is watching football in the other room, and I was gonna come on Jay's live, but she wasn't on anymore, so I just decided to pop on my camera as I'm painting, because I really don't like football and I can't be bothered watching it, so might as well hang out with you guys then. So what I'm painting down here is these roses. And then I'm gonna make something fun around here. I'm actually thinking about making a mandala around the circle and just makes patterns all the way over the page. I was typing on my phone, eyes so tired from all the typing. Yeah, I bet, Simone. And bless you for coming on even though you've been on the laptop for the whole day. Really don't feel any pressure for staying on. You do your thing, okay? I keep thinking that it's Friday today. I mentioned that to you, Simone, earlier as well. I keep thinking because the class I had in London today, usually that class is on a Friday. So naturally, when I go to their house and on my way back, it feels like, okay, now I got the Friday feeling, like weekend ahead. But no, it's Thursday today. Not that it makes a big difference though, because life looks more or less the same no matter what day it is, at least for me. I don't go to work, as mentioned, I don't go to work in an office or anything. I work from home, I run my art classes online, or then I go to my clients' houses to run classes for them at home. But it's never like a scheduled type of, Monday to Friday type of 9 to 5 type of job. So all day seem more or less the same. I bet it's a bit the same for you, Simone, as well, because you do homeschooling and you do your works that you get on with at home. So days are more or less the same. 5 people are on. If you're running a channel, do let us know about your channel in the chat box. That is what this live is mainly about. It's about you guys. If you want to share anything about your channel and connect with each other. I have a bunch of loads of artworks going on here behind me, everywhere in this room actually, and I need to get that organized at some point as well. I think I'm gonna put some stuff on the wall and figure that out. Sorry about the strong light blinding you. I always get mixed up with days. Rick is on. Hi Rick, thank you for joining. I know you're a very busy guy getting on with your paintings and whatnot. Guys, if you don't know Rick, do you want to tell us something about your channel? What is it mainly about? I do know that it's about your artworks. What type of art do you do? What is your passion and motivation in your artworks? Roxy saying, I'll let the live run too, Charlotta, since I'm working in the office today. Oh, you're at work at the moment. So are you back yeah, you're not in lockdown anymore. So you're back in the office. Thank you so much for playing, even though you're at work. Hope it doesn't distract you from what you need to get on with. Roxy's saying she's helping with the watch time. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Rick, what I'm doing here on my table is I'm painting flowers. And I'm adding some blue shades to the rose I got up here. So just a bit of shadings. We started this painting in my art class this morning, and now I'm just adding layers to. We didn't have time to finish it, so. Well, I guess because I was more instructing the girl that took part of the class rather than working on my own art. And just helped her with the sketch. So then I thought I might as well add some color to it to make it into a complete picture. One thing that I want to get more into is painting fire. Because I feel like painting fire is a bit similar to painting clouds and waves, which I really enjoy doing. And it's almost like abstract art because it doesn't have any specific shape, and you can go on with the shadings however you feel like and kind of just play with the colors. So I think I'm gonna practice painting fire at some point as well. Let's see, Rick is saying, I paint in almost every medium, but mainly in oils and acrylics, some watercolor. I also draw portraits and pets, etc. Thanks for asking. Nice flower painting, and I hope everyone is doing good. Yes, and I've been following your channel, Rick, for quite a while now, so I've seen a lot of beautiful paintings on your channel. So I do recommend if you want to learn about painting techniques and see how different artists work, I would definitely recommend Rick's channel. And I personally as well, I enjoy watching how other artists work because you can always learn from other people when they kind of, we might come to similar outcomes, but some things that we struggle with, maybe others can do it a little bit better or show it in a different way. So that's always fun to learn and inspire each other. Hey, Rick, you will know this. Simone was asking, who's the man on your desk? So I got a framed man here. Now, can you help Simone and tell her who this guy is? She asked if it's my dad. Let's see if Rick is watching still. I'll pop it down, but you don't know this guy? I am sure you know this guy. I'll wait. I'll keep it here still, and let's see if some other artists come on, and they can tell you guys who it is. You'll be like, yeah, of course. It's someone that anyone knows. Even if you're not into art, you will know who this guy is. It's a name that will be known, I think, forever. He left a legacy behind. He is one of the old masters. Yes, he is, Rick. He's one of the big guys. And I keep his picture. He's a very strange man, actually. I keep his picture here on my desk. And I told Simone earlier as well that whenever I feel a bit strange and doing funny things and paintings that don't really make sense, I look at this guy and I think like, yeah, but so did you, and you left a legacy, so it's inspiring. You can see all of these like random things that I have here in the background as well. Like I do a lot of like random art that maybe doesn't make that much sense to others, but I'm not really that bothered because art and creating is mainly about expressing yourself and having fun. So yeah, I know that you do a lot of like I know, Rick, you do a lot of like realistic pictures. I don't know if you saw, I posted this one yesterday. So I do a lot of like fantasy mixed with realistic, if that makes sense. Sometimes I add like surrealistic things to the paintings as well. But this is one that I posted yesterday. I'm doing more lives now as things are not really completely back to normal in London yet work-wise, so I do spend a lot of time in my art studio. So whenever I feel like I just pop the live on and work on a painting and let you guys in on that, whoever's online. Yes, but yeah, so I was gonna say that I do a lot of like fantasy type. You know, you might have seen this one already. You know, like something that is realistic, like a crescent and cosmic skies, but then like adding a ladder or something like that random to make it a bit more interesting. Simone is saying that she is getting kids to bed. Okay, Simone, thank you for letting it play, even though you're doing other stuff. I do appreciate that. Rick, are you working on something in your art studio at the moment? What's happening down your end? Are you holding a brush as we speak, or are you taking a break and just doing YouTube? I'm gonna put it a little bit down so you see what I do as we chat. And to those of you who just joined the chat, do let us know about your channel in the chat box. Or even if you don't run a channel, say hello and join us in the conversation. Yeah. Rick is saying, always working on something. That's the feeling I get from your channel as well, that you keep it busy in your art studio. So you just finished another bird painting. I try to paint almost every day. I love that. And that shows your passion for it as well. I think like either you have that side in you or you don't. The kind of, I don't know, need to create, if that makes sense. You're saying, I do love painting and drawing. Yes, and you can see in people's houses, when you see people's videos, if they show you a little bit more of their characters and their homes, you will see who are actually really into painting and creating. Because you can see like they have like me, I have like piles and piles, and here's another painting. I got like piles of these paintings and stuff going on in my art studio. And I'm kind of like now trying to find a way to reach the world with my artworks. So I'm setting up an Instagram account for my artworks, and kind of just, I might put them to sale as well to kind of get my artwork out in the world. Do you, Rick, sell your art, your paintings, or is it mainly for yourself? if you sell your artworks, what are your main tips on that? I used to sell paintings before, and I don't really enjoy commission works that much. I love painting my own stuff, but I don't enjoy commission works because I put too much pressure on myself to make it the way a client likes it to be. And then, it doesn't feel like it's really me if it's someone else's wishes. So I rather paint my own works, and then if it sells, it sells. I used to be a full-time painter a few years ago when I was living in Finland. So then I was full-time painting and selling some artworks as well. Not a lot, but here and there I sold paintings. And I really want to get back to that scene again. And Rick is saying, I sell my paintings on occasions, but not all the time. I only sell my art when I was going to art shows. But I paint mostly for the love of art. That's the same as me. I just paint because I feel like painting, but then, as you can see, they're piling up, and you don't really want to throw them out either, because you put your everything in it. You put so much effort and so much soul into your paintings that you don't really, yeah. So I'm in that sort of situation right now where I want to reach the world a little bit more with my artworks. And I believe that when we say it out loud and we speak about it, we start looking for the opportunities more than if we just keep it in our minds and think about it. So kind of trying to work with the universe a little bit here and to open the gates of getting in contact with the right type of people. And yeah. Rick is saying, haha, I know what you mean. I have lots of paintings everywhere, in my studio and in my house. That's what I mean. Sometimes I just reuse canvases and paint a new painting on top, even if I was happy with the first painting, because I just have a pile of canvases, ready painted canvases. But I can't have all my walls filled with paintings either. So I'm like, hey, you give a lot of them as gifts too. Yeah, you can do that. Maybe I should do some giveaways on my channel at some point as well. When we celebrate something, maybe when I reach, what shall I say? When I reach 10K, let's dance with the universe a little bit more. 10K subscribers, can we get there? I can promise you now, hand on my heart, that if I reach 10K subscribers, I promise you guys that I will do some sort of a giveaway with paintings and other creative stuff. What other giveaway? Did you ever do a giveaway, Rick? 10K subs. Well, I'm a big dreamer. I don't know if I deserve it. Who deserves and what? Who is to say who deserves what? But I'm a big, I like to have big visions, right? So yeah, let's see where this journey will take us. Just having fun with it, really. Rick is saying no giveaway on my channel, but that is a great idea. Maybe I'll do one too. How is your subscriber count at the moment? At what level are you? How many do you have on your channel? Trying to remember if you're monetized or not. Yes, you should do a giveaway as well. We could even do some sort of an art swap. I have 1.3 like you. Hey, we are twinnies then. Subscriber twinnies. So let's reach 10K together. Yeah? I'll follow you, Rick. I'm painting. Hey, Twinnie. Yes, I like that. Now I'm gonna start competing with you. Let's make it a challenge. Who hits 2K first? Rick, are you on? Game on. To be honest, I don't have, like, when I started the YouTube channel, I was so much more active with like going to check out other people's channels that I didn't know yet, and kind of channel surfing a little bit more and talking to a lot of new people. But lately, I haven't had that much inspiration and time to do that. So I haven't been growing that much. I kind of once I reached 1K, I kind of let that side go a little bit more. I should do it though, because you do find a lot of interesting artists when you do go channel surfing a little bit more. But now I kind of just stick to my favorites, and Rick, you are one of them. I always go to see what you've been up to. Not daily. Sometimes I might take a couple of days before I come over, but I got a list of my favorite YouTubers that I go to check out whenever I have time to sit down and look at your videos properly. I don't really like just writing one short comment and then just leaving the video. When I do watch videos of my favorite YouTubers, I do it when I have time to sit down and watch and focus on the video properly. So if I take time sometimes, just know that I'm saving it for a time when I can watch your video in full, because that I believe in. Again, I'm speaking about the universe and law of attraction. That's the kind of friendships I want to build on YouTube. I want to have genuine connections and support people that I feel are friendly, and they are supporting you as well authentically. And yeah, none of these like copy paste, come and join me and whatever, and then they just kind of unfollow once. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? So I do have a list of these lovely channels that I go to visit religiously every week and catch up on the videos that I haven't seen yet. Rick is saying, thank you, Charlotta. You're a favorite of mine too. Thank you, Rick. He's saying that he agrees. So only genuine support, and only subscribe if you're actually interested in the content and you're gonna stay in contact and be watching the videos. Otherwise, there's not much point in it, to be honest. Because we don't want to have a community that never really watches your stuff. So, hey guys, I can see 9 people joining, but it's only Rick speaking in the chat box. Thank you, Rick, for being very active and supportive as you are. If you're watching, do say hello so I know who I'm talking to. I am painting roses here on the table. Tell us about your channel, and tell us about your purpose with your channel. Why did you start it? And have you reached your goals? What are you aiming for with it? Rick is saying anytime with a smile. Let me show you an update of this one. I added some green. And I was thinking to do some mandala patterns around this one and fill the whole page with black and white patterns once I finish the painting. Elf Lord's Journeys. Hey, thank you for joining. Why don't you tell everyone about your channel, where you are at this point, and what are you aiming for? What are your next steps and next goals? And how are you finding YouTube at the moment? Now we go through stages with YouTube, don't we? Sometimes I feel very inspired to make videos. Other times I kind of can't be bothered setting all the lights and everything, and I just paint away in my studio without filming it. So I go through stages. And now I'm going through a stage where I kind of just pop on the camera whenever I'm painting. So yeah, Rick is saying, nice, Charlotta, it's coming along great. Very pretty. Thank you so much. I think art and painting is like meditation. It's just playing with colors having fun with it. I need to have a finer, so I've got this whole pile of this cup with brushes, but I don't know where my favorite brush is right now. Should be somewhere. Here's a fine one as well. That one could work, but it's not the one I was looking for. This one could work, maybe. Need a fine tip. Deep David Daly is in the house. How you doing? David is my partner, everyone, and he has been posting some super awesome stuff on his channel over the last couple of days. David, why don't you tell the people about your channel and what you're doing on there as well? David is also creative. He's very creative, but he didn't share much of his creative arty-farty kind of things on his channel yet. Maybe he will at some point, I don't know. What are you sharing on your channel, David? Tell the people. David is watching football and now it's halftime, so he popped on. That's nice. I think we're gonna do a collaboration at some point so that you can hear a little bit more about what his channel is about. Did you guys see that I did a collaboration with Joni Young, by the way? I was so flattered when she asked me, so honored to be on her channel and doing collaboration with her. She's such a talented, lovely lady. Let's see. Elf Lord says, yes, that was cool. Appreciate the shout out, lady, says David. Deep David Daly. But David, tell us about your channel. Rick is saying, I love Joni Young. That as a great collab. That was a great collab, yeah. Thank you. She's very skillful in her fantasy paintings, and she definitely inspires me. As you know, I'm also quite into that sort of paintings. So it was super fun. We're gonna do another one in August, in a couple of weeks' time. David, are you typing? David is typing. He never has a short answer when you ask him something. he will elaborate a lot. So let's give him some time and he will tell us about his channel as well. And me, on the other hand, I need to train my patience. So maybe that's how the universe is helping out there. Okay, I'm painting some leaves for my roses. I love roses, but I guess most women love roses, right? Elf Lord is asking, are you friends with Sandy too? Yes, this is Acrylics, these ones. Yes, I did a collaboration with Sandy as well, actually. That was a couple of months ago. We painted a sea. Where do I have that sea? It's actually here in the window. Let me grab it quickly. This one was a collaboration with Sandy Gasket Art. Is that Sandy you mean, right? Sandy Gasket, the seascape artist. So this was a collaboration with her. So we chose a reference photo. You can see the colors are very close to white. So this part over here was super challenging to paint because it wasn't a big difference. I added a little bit stronger colors to the wave to make the difference a little bit stronger. So you can see the shape of the wave. But this one was a super bright reference picture. So it was quite challenging to do, but I loved making it. Let's see. I'm trying acrylics. Tricky. How much water to use? Yeah, I mean, that completely depends on what type of paint. You can use acrylics almost like water paint if you want. If you add a lot of water, like in this background, for example, I use quite a lot of water to blend it in and make it a bit more runny. Now on the roses, on the leaves, I'm not adding so much water. But I mean, it depends how you want to use them, really. You can use it almost as oil paints if you want, though they do dry a lot quicker than oil. So David is saying, I help creative entrepreneurs get well paid without doing all the stuff they hate. Your paintings are coming along nicely. Thank you, David. Yeah, so the things that David are sharing on his channel is actually very creative, very helpful for artists as well as any entrepreneur, really, but especially for artists, because I guess what we were speaking about earlier is a big challenge for many artists is to kind of get out in the world with your art and make money on it. Hey, Elf Lord, by the way, David, you're not allowed to say because you know this, but Elf Lord, do you know who this guy is? Simone asked who this was, and she thought that it's my dad. Rick said that he doesn't know who it is. David is not allowed to say because he knows, because I shared that with him. Elf Lords, do you know who this guy is? Since you're into art and creating and painting and whatnot. Rick just subscribed to David's channel. Yeah, do check it out. I bet you will love it. I was binge watching his. You don't know how? Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys now. This, David, do you want to tell them? Who is this guy? He's a legend. A very strange man who left a legacy. This is Pablo Picasso. Daddy comment made me lol. Yeah, me too. But it looks a little bit like my dad. You met my dad, right? But this is man like Picasso, Pablo Picasso. Can you see his fingers in this picture? It's actually croissants on the table. And having Pablo Picasso on my table feels like I have a little bit more permission to be my weird self, because he was a very strange man and he didn't let anyone tell him anything. He did what he wanted to. So that's why he's on my desk, as a reminder to say it's okay to be your weird self. Do your thing. Do you, Rick, I've seen that you do a lot of like, not live paintings, but you do real-time paintings. Would you ever do a live? How do you feel about lives? Elflor saying, since it's black and white, I was thinking Ansel Adams. No, it's Pablo Picasso. I see what you mean about painting in acrylics and not knowing how much water to put, because it's easy to get it quite uneven. But what I tend to do sometimes is I just dip the brush in the water every now and then I spread it over the paints to get a more even surface to the paint. Not that I'm any sort of an expert, I'm just sharing what I do. I need to buy a new shade of green, though. I don't really like this one because it's looking very superficial. I think if I add a little bit of this, it could look quite nice. Yeah, so David Rick is doing a lot of paintings on his channel, and he's using all mediums. He told us before he's using acrylics, he's using oils, he's using watercolors, and he paints quite a lot of like realistic pictures, like birds. I've seen a couple of bird paintings on his channel lately as well. He also took part of Dina's art challenge. This is from Dina's art challenge, the Bluebird art challenge. I'm actually going to make a big paper mache tree, and then I'm going to hang the birds in it. I made 2 birds from now, so. I have a premiere on this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern US time, which is 3 p.m. for you guys in the UK. Oh, awesome. On Saturday, you said. I ran my online art session here on YouTube starting 2 p.m. Sometimes we go over 1 hour, but I will definitely be coming over and checking it out on the premiere if I can make it, or otherwise I'll watch it on the catch-up later. That's awesome. Looking forward to it. So now I'm kind of liking that green a little bit more. It looks a bit more like a forest green. It was a bit too superficial before. So I just added a little bit of this yellow ochre. So it makes it a little bit more nicer shade. So Rick, you said, wait, where did you say? 10 a.m. Eastern US time. So where in the US are you based? David, is it Manchester United playing today? And who are they playing against? Is it 1 more hour or 45 minutes? I actually really like that shade. Need to keep that in mind to add that to my green whenever I paint with that green. So I'm not a big fan. It came in a package, as you can see here. So I didn't choose the individual colors. Aston Villa, okay. Elf, I use a master's. Wait. Let's see. Here's another question for you and Rick. How do you keep your paint from drying out on your palette so fast? You can use a spray bottle with water to spray it on and just add a little bit of water to it. Bye, David. Thank you for joining. Pop by later if you want. Yeah, so you can spray a little bit just gently over it, or if you take breaks, you can cover it with just kitchen foil to keep it wet. Got 10 people on right now. Who else is out there? Talk to us. Aston Villa is playing against Manchester United at the minute, as we speak. But I'm guessing as you guys are on my live, you might not be big fans of football like me. Lurkers, right? Elf Lords? Now there's 11 of them. Well, minus you and Rick. They've probably already left, so that makes it 9. 9 lurkers out there. Do say hello, guys. I love seeing who's here. Don't be shy. Elf, it's Mastersons, not Masters, lol. Sorry about that. Let's see, what did you say? You're in Massachusetts. That's the difficult word for me to pronounce all of a sudden. In the Northeast. Okay, gotcha. What did you say about the palette? Elf, I use a Masters Stay Wet palette. Oh yeah, there are these palettes. You're right. I've never tried them. But there are these specific palettes that have like moist underneath on a different level, and then it keeps, right? How does it work, Rick? I've never tried those stay wet kind of palettes, but I've seen some other people on YouTube using it, so I'm intrigued. Sally Art Studios. Hey, so fun that you made the live. Are you one of the lurkers or did you just join? Have you been playing it in the background? How are you doing? Do you guys know each other? All of you chatting right now are running art channels, so that's quite fun to see. Do connect with each other if you're not connected yet. So what I love about the community here on YouTube is the ones that I've connected with and do stay in touch with are actually very genuine, lovely connections. So wet paper towel under the paint and cover with cling wrap would work. Yes, cling wrap. So do you mean if you leave it for a longer time or just while you're painting? Cling wrap you can add, yeah, just to keep it moisture over a while. And also if you use palettes that have these bumps, I have that kind of palettes as well, but I find them so tiring to clean that I started using these paper ones. But those ones that have those little bumps, it's easier to keep, to cover so that it doesn't get stuck to the cling film. But I mean, like, you can put pots like that over it, and then you put some cling film over like that. But yeah, do try to only take as much paint as you use at that time, and then I think it's tricky when you're mixing a color though. But that's when I use this kind of pots that you can seal again with a lid. So if I mix a complete new shade and I want to keep it for a bigger surface and I might need to use it again, I use this kind of pots that I can close again and seal overnight and then use it again next day. Other than that, I just use whatever I take out. And I kind of continue with these art books. I continue from page to page until I used up all the paints that I have on my palette, because I really passionately hate wasting paint, especially if it's acrylics or oil. Smart Needlecraft, hey, thank you for joining. Why don't you tell everyone about your channel as well? What do you do on your channel? What is your purpose on YouTube? What do you want to share with the world? And how are you finding your journey so far? I think once I've colored all of these green parts, I'm going to continue with that now because I have the paints for that out. And then another time I'm going to add the mandala patterns around it to fill the page. Adding a bit of a darker shade down here to add some highlights and shadows to the painting. Needle crafting, very beautiful painting, thank you. The Master Sons is like a Tupperware container that preserves the acrylic paints for a long time. That's very, very cool. I have to check that out as well. Hello, Smart Needle Crafts. Hello, beautiful painting. Thank you. AWA Art. I'm trying to remember if we are connected. Your name, the name of your channel doesn't ring a bell right now. I think I have to go and check you out after the live to refresh my memory. Are we connected or are you new to the channel? I do apologize if we are connected and I don't remember. But I can see that you're running an art channel as well. What type of art do you do? Now we got 11 people on. Yesterday when I was doing a live, when I painted this painting, I had, I think, 2 people on. And again, I didn't tell anyone that I'm gonna go on live like today as well. I just popped on the camera as David was watching football and I find football boring. So I decided to paint and then I just switched the camera on. So I never really know if people will be joining or not, but it's fun to see so many people here today. Do get connected with each other through the chat as well. And if you're not connected, connect with each other so that we can grow together. Most of the active people on my channel are lovely, supporting YouTubers. Oh, I'm in love with this shade of green. Is that strange? Can a shade of color make you happy? I feel that way sometimes. Or like if I don't find the right shade, I can get really frustrated because of it. Like I actually have to do like mindfulness work on keeping calm when a painting doesn't work out the way I want. I'm getting better with that though. I used to take so much pressure on creating beautiful pictures, and now I'm kind of letting go a little bit of that perfectionism and just trying to find joy in painting instead, and not worrying too much on how it turns out. I mentioned earlier that I started a new Instagram page for my artworks only, and that one is Charlotta Sophia Art. So if anyone wants to connect on there, it's barely no one is on that one now, because I literally started it yesterday night. And I only have one painting there so far, which is this one. But I'm going to continue on working on that Instagram account as well to get my artwork out in the world and reach more people. What am I missing? It just needs to stay wet while painting. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And just take as much as you use. I can hear my phone buzzing all the time. What is going on? Runway fashion label from Fashion Week interested in working with you on Instagram. It's probably nothing too serious though. You know those companies that reach out to you on Instagram saying that they want to collaborate and whatnot. A lot of them is just time wasters, really. Some of them, handful here and there, are genuine companies that actually do want to work with you, but I'm not really. I mean, I run an artist channel on Instagram, so a Fashion Week, whatever she said on that email that I just got, it's probably not really anything too serious. Do you know the channel Kiss My Art? I think I do, you know. I think I do, but I can't remember. I haven't been on that channel for a while, so I can't remember the artworks on there. Let's see what is. Am I saying your name right, Sauli? Sauli maybe is saying maybe someday I'm brave enough to do a live video. I wish that David didn't go off yet, because he has a lot of content about gaining confidence and finding your weird spark and just being yourself. Sauli, I was sharing before about Pablo Picasso, who I have here on my desk, who was a very weird man. And he just did himself. He was himself. You couldn't get more real than this guy, right? And he didn't care what anyone thought or said about him. So tell me, I keep him here on the desk because it reminds me of that, you know, be your own weird self and let people say and think what they want. So, Sauli, What is it that stops you from doing a live? Why do you feel that you need to be brave to do a live? Think of it this way, like what's the worst that could happen? Like your artwork doesn't turn out nice, or you're saying the wrong words or whatever. So it's like the worst that could happen. The worst thing that ever happened on any of my lives, which wasn't even that bad, is that some trolls came on the chat and just said some horrible, nasty things. So that's the worst thing that happened, and I just blocked them, and that's fine. So don't let people get in your way of what you want to do, and it's a great way to connect with your audience and the channels that you support as well. So I do recommend doing lives. And now as I'm shaking my hands, I speak a lot with my hands. And now that I'm holding a brush and speaking to you, Sauli, I keep dripping green dots on my painting. So this is turning into a Jackson Pollock if I keep waving this around. Next time I speak to you, I'm going to put my brush down, okay? Sally's saying, I don't know what to say when the camera is rolling. Oh, do you know you could practice with just filming? Speak to the camera, switch the camera on and just speak. Put a picture of someone like your best friend or some weird guy like Pablo Picasso. Put it next to the camera like this and pretend that you're speaking to that person and have a dialogue and just kind of get over that first step. And once you do it a couple of times, it just feels normal. I think it's just the first couple of times that it's intimidating. What I did in the beginning is I went live on Instagram a couple of times before I went live on YouTube. And then I just chatted with my friends on Instagram on a live chat. And then I kind of got used to speaking to the camera and people speaking in the chat. And you get over it. So I would say just try it a couple of times. Rick is saying, I'm the same way, Sauli. Haha, just like my wife. I need one of Picasso too. Yes. So, when you have people like these guys and women as well from the past, and also some of them alive still among us, I would say I'm openly my weird self. I might seem normal at the first glimpse, but once you get to know me, you'll get to know the quirky side of my character. And I just feel like I don't care too much if people like me or not. That's not my problem. That's on them. If, as long as you're friendly and don't offend people, you can't connect with everyone and not everyone will like you. So I think it's about feeling okay with not being liked as well. Van Gogh was a strange man indeed. Oh, the Salvador Dali as well, you mentioned before. Salvador Dali did wonderful paintings, but I think you can't paint pictures like that if you aren't a little bit weird, right? You can see in his paintings that he is a little bit strange. He went to these surrealistic parties as well, and he had these, what do you call it, mustache that points straight out, and he had like this a bit like surrealistic clothes as well. It looks a bit like a piece of art that he was wearing. So I think that if you put yourself on the scale next to these big artists, then you start feeling more normal. And I don't know, the more individual people you have in your circles. David, who was on here as well, he's acting very normal in his videos, but if you watch him a bit longer, you'll see his quirky side come out as well. It's just like once you feel comfortable with yourself, you're not too bothered about what other people will say about you. So yeah, I guess it takes a bit of self-work as well, self-acceptance. I'm okay with who I am. I'm happy with who I am. A little bit geeky, a little bit, random. English is my third language, so I don't speak it to 100%, but most of the time people do understand what I'm saying. But even that, I don't really let it stop me. I lived in London now for 8.5 years. My first language is Swedish. Second language is Finnish. Third language is English. When I started this channel, I was even thinking about doing videos in Swedish, but I thought if I make it in English, I can reach a bigger audience. So that's why I keep it to English mainly. Sometimes I have Swedish people on the chat and then I'll speak Swedish, but mainly in English. There's weirder people out there than yourself. Exactly, right, Elf Lords? So just be yourself, and there's nothing wrong with being individual either. So keep doing you and keep practicing every day, and you'll feel more and more comfortable about it. I named my son Vincent after Vincent van Gogh because he is my first artist that inspired me to start painting. Now he said to me, really, Mom, but thanks, Mom. Now he loved drawing too. Oh, that is so sweet. How old is your son, Sally? That is super sweet that he's getting into drawing. And he will probably see you do a lot of artworks as well, and then he'll get inspired. And I bet you have a lot of like creative stuff in the house that he can play around with. Crayons and paints and whatnot. He's 11. Okay, so he's not like a super young, like the kids that I do art with. The kids that I do art with are around 3-4 years old. They made these birds and they were working so hard to draw these birds. First they drew it on a paper, then they cut it out. The girl even wrote bird, is from this side, bird. Cut it out, they glued it together, colored it in, and they were so proud of themselves that they ran to their parents saying like, look, we cut them out all by themselves. And like, it's not perfect, but they're practicing. This was made by a 2-year-old, and he knew where to put the eyes himself and the beak he drew himself. So they were super proud of themselves. And as I was leaving their house, that was on, was it Monday, I think? As I was leaving their house, they came running to the door to give me a big hug. And then they said, we want the birds to go to your home. So now the birds are in my home. But yeah, your son is 11, so he's a little bit older. But the oldest one that I do art with is 12. Elf Lords is saying, your paper mache stuff is so cool. Thank you. That is some of my favorite things to do. Is now I'm just wondering, where is that lion? Where did I put it? There's one lion head here on the floor, but the lion mask, I really don't know where I put it. It's run away. But I love doing paper mache, and yeah, I'm gonna do a paper mache tree, a big one that can stand on the floor, and I want to decorate the bedroom with a. I was thinking about buying a big plant for the bedroom, but then I'm really rubbish with plants in the house because I keep forgetting to give them water. So I thought I'll get a superficial tree instead. And I was like, why would I get a superficial tree when I can make one out of paper mache? So that's a project that's coming up on the channel at some point, probably in August. And then I'm gonna hang all of the birds in that tree. So I love working with paper mache because I mean, it's so affordable. If it doesn't turn out, you don't need to stress that much about it. It's mainly recycled materials. I build the bases out of cardboard and then I just add paper and paper mache paste, and that's it. Ricky's saying that sounds great. Thank you. Now I'm seeing that I still have quite a lot of green here to use, but I sort of colored them already, these leaves. So, question is if I should just keep playing around a little bit more, since I still have the paint, or if that will spoil it. Do you guys have a favorite shape? I mentioned in another live that my favorite shape at the moment is the circle. And that might show that I work with kids, right? Kids have favorite shapes and stuff like that. My favorite color at the moment is lavender purple. That's why I made the sky in purple, that one. So I'll just add a little bit of shading with that dark. Who is your favorite artist now in the modern times who is still alive? What kind of artists do you follow and get inspired from? I really missed going to art galleries during the lockdown, but I do think they should be open again now. I just haven't spent that much time in central London. I need to go and check that out as well. As much as I love following your artistic journey here on YouTube, I do love going to galleries and seeing paintings and sculptures in real life. Elf Lord is going to grab some lunch. Thank you for joining and staying with us for a while. Enjoy your lunch, and I'll catch you at another time. I'm adding the middle tone. A little bit of lines here and there. So, the next step would be to start adding the circle around it and leave that to dry. I also feel like making a little bit of stars here in the background, as I do like cosmic paintings. So I'm gonna do that as well. I might use some of the green for the background. I do have white. Thank you, Sarli. Are you working on something at the moment, Sauli? I know Rick has been working on a bird painting, and he has a premiere coming up on Saturday, 3 p.m. BST. If you're around, Sauli, join him for his premiere. Me, I'm just painting whenever I get the chance. And I've got a few things coming up on this channel. But I will leave it as a surprise. I have a collaboration with another person that some of you do know here on YouTube. And we're looking to post that on Monday. It's a little bit different to my usual content on here, so I hope it won't trigger anyone in the wrong way. Some people are very quick to follow and unfollow, so I hope that no one will get triggered by the content coming up on Monday. I'm adding small dots in the background, and then I'm gonna add some stars to it. Sally is saying, I don't have any in my mind, but watch them all. Very pretty, thank you. I just don't know what to paint now. You are very good at paper crafting art too. Thank you so much. That's a lot that I do with the kids that take part of my art classes. I do a lot of like crafting out of recycled materials, like that one is from a Pringles can. And that's like the younger kids, like 2, 3 year olds, do quite like that because they get to make their own toys and it's fun for them to kind of see that they can create something very easily with just a few things from the house. So that's why I do some of those crafting material tutorials. But since YouTube changed the whole the COPPA thing, COPPA law in August, I have changed that a little bit. So, but I'm still posting. I just kind of try to speak to parents instead of kids. But creativity is for all ages. Crafting is for all ages. So I guess they can't really ban that. I'm adding some highlights to the leaves. Starting to become a little bit more fantasy type now that I'm adding these lines. There we go. And I'm kind of waiting for those dots to dry a little bit so that I can add the stars to it. Now they're still wet, so it's gonna get smudged in. So what I tend to do is I tend to put small dots like that first with watered out acrylic paint. So I put a lot of water to make it a bit transparent and put a shade of green into it. Leave it to dry and then add a star on top of it once it's dried. Those ones aren't fully dried yet. So that's another thing, I'm not very patient. When it comes to waiting for paint to dry. I guess that's why I don't really enjoy working with oil paints. Because oil paints take so long to dry. There's good things about the paint taking long to dry. You have more time to work on the painting part, but if you're waiting for a layer to dry and you put more oil into the paint, it takes forever. So guess it depends what you prefer. I like painting with water paints as well, but it's just a different technique, isn't it? So got to make dinner to see you, Charlotta. Great to join you live video. It's fun to chat. Have a wonderful weekend, Charlotta, and everyone. Thank you so much, Daly, for joining us today. Enjoy your dinner, and I'm looking forward to checking out more of your artworks very, very soon. Bye-bye. Okay, I am gonna use up this white and make some lines and dots and whatnot. I'm gonna try now and see if it's still blending. Oh, that's okay-ish. Spreads a tiny bit, but that's fine. So it makes quite a fun effect when you add a tiny bit of green and then a white dot on top. So it makes it look quite shiny and sparkly. And this bigger one I'm gonna add a proper star into. So I'm just making a cross with a fine tip brush. I'm just afraid of smudging the wet parts there. So I'll turn it this way. Having my hand in a bit of an awkward angle, so it's not really working out that great. Let's see, like that, maybe. To make the tip a bit finer, I take just a tiny bit of paint on the end like that. Think art. Hi, artist friend. I want to know about liquid. Do you have it? I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. Friend, I do not know. But if anyone else knows, share in the chat box. How are you today other than that? Okay, there's my little star shining bright in the background. So I think I'm gonna make a couple of those. I have a thing for stars and sparkly things. So first I just make one line and then I make it into a cross. Simple cross like that. Then I add small lines in between. Think art. What is your favorite art form? What kind of things do you share on your channel? Share with the other people watching right now? And what inspires you? What do you want to do with your channel? There's another star. Which one do you think is better? The one with green or the one with only white? I guess there's not a big difference, is there? Could have made the green in the background a little bit wider. I think you missed my message above. I need to go, Charlotta, but wanted to make sure you saw this. Oh, sorry. So sorry. You're saying I need to start cooking for the family. Take care, everyone. Okay, yes. Sorry about that. Take care, Rick. Thank you for joining us. Yes, I didn't see that. So sorry. Thank you for staying. That's so polite of you. Rick is so polite. He stayed even though he was heading out. That's so nice of you, Rick. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much for being here. I'm adding a little bit of more of details to this circle down here to make it a little bit more like a fantasy painting. I'm gonna add some lines. There. It's getting quite busy now. Oh, Simone, you're still here. Thank you. I'm thinking I still have some white, so I'm trying to use it up for the background. Oh, I actually know what I want to do, but I might mess it up, but that's okay because it's just a painting, right? If it doesn't look nice, then tough luck. And I'm add some like swirly curly lines in here. Make it a bit spacey. How's it going, Simone? Did the kids go to sleep or are they still up? I think Micah was napping quite late today, so he might still be up with you. Adding some more swirly curlies to here. So I'm blending the acrylic paint out with water to make it more transparent. Let it blend in with the background a little bit more. I know it's not the best angle to watch from. Oh, is it already? Oh my goodness, it's 10 o'clock already. Yes, Simone, do that, and I won't be on much longer either. I'm just gonna use up the paint that I have on the palette, and then I'm gonna call it a day. So yeah, do go on Kenyatta's and say hello from me as well. Thank you for being here, Simone. Isn't that funny? Like, once I start painting, I can just do this for hours and hours and I won't even realize. Simone is saying, I'm almost done editing. They won't sleep. Micah busy watching sports with Ryan. Oh, I'm gonna have a bath and relax soon. A bath sounds lovely. Think art is saying landscapes, wildlife. I love the nature. Me too. I love being out in nature, and then I love painting landscapes and what do you call it, seascapes and galaxies and stuff like that. But I do like adding a little bit of a fantasy twist to it. But yes, nature, just being out in nature is lovely as well. Especially when you're around the seaside like Simone is on Isle of Man. Think art, where are you based, by the way? I always like mapping people out on my live to see where people are joining from. Did Ryan come back from work or is he still working? Simone? Oh yeah, you said he's watching sports with Micah. Holo Holo Adventures. Roxy is still here too, letting it run and occasionally listening in, but trying not to get distracted at work. I totally understand that, Roxy. Don't worry, focus on your work. I will be putting this off soon. I'm just gonna add the final touches with the white and then I'm gonna switch it off. I can hear football is still on. I should finish soon as well. God willing. Yeah, I could just paint and paint all night. It's a shame. Sometimes I feel it's a shame us humans need sleep. Imagine how much we could do if we didn't need to sleep. But I think I'm gonna stay up a little bit later again and just work on some artworks. Because I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Normally I go to sleep quite early, but lately I've been going later and later because I just love working on these paintings. It's getting a bit more spacey now. I think I will do chat soon. Okay, I think Simone took off. Was not even registering that. I'm so in my own bubble. Simone was laughing, saying that I went from doing 2.5 hour videos to 2.5 minute long videos to 2.5 hour long videos, which is quite funny because it's not far from the truth. A couple of years ago, when I first did my YouTube videos, I made 1 to 2 minute long videos. And now this camera has been on for nearly 2 hours, I think. Yeah, 1 hour to 43 minutes. So, okay, shall we call it a day? Maybe we'll leave a few more lines over here. Okay, I am gonna end this now, like that, and then I might do some patterns around it at another point. So, oh my goodness, that light is too bright for being this late in the evening. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I need to turn that off because it's blinding me. That's, by the way, the light that I did a review on. It's very strong and it's great for many things, and I often use it. But right now my eyes are getting tired and it's getting late, so I'm not gonna switch that on anymore. I am gonna leave the painting as it is now. And that is it for this live today. Thank you for everyone who took part and shared about your channels in the chat box as well. I hope you gained something from this live. And I shall see you guys very, very soon. Okay, I do run a class on Saturdays at 2 p.m. BST. And that is something that's scheduled for every week. These ones, the lives that I do during the weeks, are just random ones. Whenever I feel like painting, I just pop on the camera. But the Saturday lives are always at 2 p.m. BST. If you're still watching, please do hit the like on your way out. And thank you for being part of this live stream. Just washing my brushes. I think this one dried a little bit too much. It's getting hard. I'll leave it in water overnight. Okie dokes. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.